10,
9, 8,
7,
6,
3,
2,
1.
0.
Welcome, Dash League, to another match in Season 7, Cycle 5. I'm Notgollum, everybody's favorite caster and commentator, and with me in the booth is Lazarus. Say hi, Laz.
I'm here in a place at a time.
And speaking of places and times, very different from my US base, we are going for all Amsterdam here in this match. HarD, I believe, is mostly, if not fully, French team, and HAXX, entirely EU as well. The maps for today are going to be Launchpad, Volcano, and Stadium as a tiebreaker, but we are not going to be switching between any maps here. How exciting for our EU players to not have to deal with higher ping on US, right?
Oh, for sure. And it's about 9 at night. It might even be 10.
Pretty
if
late
daylight
on
savings.
a Sunday.
I wonder if sleepiness will play a factor. They also have work tomorrow. I mean, it'll be a Monday.
And yeah, good luck for them. I mean, convenient time for us. It's just midday. But
Yeah,
you know.
no, I just had a sandwich. I had a great lunch.
Yeah. I wonder what they have for lunch over in not America land. I wouldn't
Probably
know.
like beans and brisket and I don't know.
What?
French people
I'm
just
sure the
will eat a
French
whole
people will
baguette.
take a huge offense to the beans on toast allegations, but I wouldn't know.
There's got to be at least one British person. I think Thomas Shelby.
Yeah, true. The host for this map. Speaking of rosters, by the way, let's go ahead and take a look at who is in the match so far. Both teams have 4 players each. We've got Lally Alley for HAXX, Drevny, Thomas Shelby, Rocky James, and UK Maddie over on HarD. I'll just call him HarD. I mean, HarD I feel like is a little too on the nose, even though if you've seen their logo, then you know they're
What they're about.
They're fully in support of what they're about. Yeah, we've got Rafiki, which is actually a name I do recognize. I Will I, Angot, So French, and Peppa. Peppa I recognize as well. Some of these players are newer to me. Have you met any of them in pubs?
Yeah, I've met a lot of them in pubs. There's a lot of I think there a lot of the new European pub players have kind of formed onto HarD.
That would make sense. Since HarD is a newer team, HarD is a new team.
Yeah,
this
is
season.
their first season, and I think they only formed a week or two before the season started.
Pretty close to the wire. And HAXX has been around for what, like 3 seasons, 4 seasons?
4. Yeah, they've been around since season 3.
Yeah, same as Loop too. Quite a while.
Yeah, no, they came in with the first wave of when the game fully released. Season 3 was the first one after the game came out.
Besides TBDI, who is also mostly European based, they're kind of like one of the mainstay European teams, right?
Yeah, I would say they're probably the best only European team. Is back in the day there used to be more dedicated European teams. But once you start getting up to those higher levels, a lot of European players will just join an American team.
Because that's just generally where like more percentage of the player base is, and that tends to mean that's where a lot of the talent is percentage-wise, right?
Oh, for sure, 70 to 80% of, especially at the Dasher tier, is US.
Yeah.
Well, then also just because of the fact that if you ever play European pubs, is the skill level tends to be a little bit lower.
But at least people use pickups in those. I really appreciate that.
It's very interesting to see the European scene be very, very pickup focused. I think probably the best all European team ever was Fair. It was either Fair. It was one of the
Fear.
It was one of the FR teams.
Yeah.
And they were pretty infamous for getting those pickups and getting these high KD counts. And then looking at the players for HAXX is, I believe Drevny and Ukmati are new this season, or at least it might be their second season. I know Rocky James, Thomas Shelby, and Lally Alley have been along for a while.
Mainstays, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Rocky James is a frequent of the top 10 leaderboard.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, he is. Yeah. You see his stats up on there.
He killed Recco and some other vets.
So we'll be looking forward to seeing that performance today. Meanwhile, I am kind of up in the air how I'm going to see HarD perform. They've had plenty of time this season to work on their strategy and their teamwork here to go against what I would assume is a more experienced team with a lot of these players like Thomas Shelby, Rocky James, for example. But give them decent opportunities here, considering they're in the same tier after all this time. They've been matched up. I'm not sure if this is a rematch. I don't think so. But
I can go and check. I don't think it
Yeah.
has been.
go ahead and take a look at that. That will just be in the announcement post.
Yeah.
But regardless, is this a rematch?
No, apparently in Walker, the only two rematches are both Emu, which, sorry.
Sorry, Emu. Yeah, rough for them, but maybe they're favorable rematches for them. Who knows? Regardless,
Yes.
we've got a bit of a strat discussion going on. We do have this about 10 minutes or so from the first opening of the server before they have to go ahead and start the match. 15 minutes rather.
Right.
But pretty.
And then taking a look at
normal
the MMRs, HarD is at the bottom and HAXX is top of Walker. So HarD can stand to gain a lot of MMR if they even take a map.
Yeah, that's true. If they even have the percentages close,
Right.
if you lose a map, sure, you will lose MMR for losing, even if it's super close. But how much you lose, it's dramatically dependent on the MMR differences. Even
Right.
if you are going to losing against a much higher ranked team in a close match, way better.
It's even been the case in the past that in MMR is they could actually win if they both maps are close and they lose the last one.
Yeah, and now
We
that
don't-
is
they
a
don't make
little...
it. Yeah, we do have it set to where you will lose a minimum of -5
Yeah.
MMR, but even then, that's basically a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, definitely with the numbers we're working with. So HarD has their work cut out for them, but I'm looking forward to seeing the performance here. Since they are such a new team, it's almost kind of expected to an extent that, especially in the earlier parts of the season, their performance will tank a bit compared to the more experienced ones. But again, now that they've had time, clearly they do communicate, which is very important for teams.
Yes.
They are having a strategy discussion, and even in Dasher tier, sometimes you can see teams missing out on that, and you can see their performance suffer as a result. There we go. I just taking a look at the standings here. Very convenient for us as we're talking about it.
Right.
TBDI at the top of Walker.
Yes, they've been the Walker Kings for 6 seasons.
Yeah, sure have.
If you want to get out of Walker, you have to beat TBDI. They are the mini boss.
They're the gatekeepers, except when they had a Dark Moon for a little while. That was a bit of a hot streak for them.
Well, even when they had Dark Moon, is a 1 Walker tier.
Oh, that's true. You're
Yeah.
right. They just had a brief stint in Sprinter, right?
I think they were in Sprinter for most of it. They just had a bad last cycle.
Yeah. But seems like both teams done discussing and ready to get going. I'm going to go ahead and change to the other cam. You can see in the bottom right signal that we're all good to go, and we'll be starting off with this launchpad payload. HAXX on red, HarD on blue. What are you going to be looking out for on this payload between these two teams, given what we've talked about so far about how generally the Europeans use more pickups and also the tier that we're playing in?
I'm expecting to see a lot of shotguns. This is a shotgun pickup in the house. A lot of shotguns. There's shocks in that bunker. And then, of course, the classic rockets. Oh, HarD already dropping a player.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, it was just loaded in wrong. All right.
Okay.
We got the 5.
Thank goodness.
Thomas Shelby looking like he's heading for these rockets.
Nope, shotguns, just like you said.
Oh, shotguns. Yeah, I haven't seen that load up for a shotgun. He might even be a little bit late to the fight here. In his spawn, 3 seconds before the game starts.
Yeah,
I'll leave with his shotguns.
This bottom map. Lally Alley just hiding way in the back. It seems like they're playing very passively, and they really want everybody to use shotguns. They've got 3 players picking them up, and 2 of those players already going down. Lally Alley misses the initial shotgun snipe, and then gets followed up there. Still more shotguns as he now approaches the cart a little bit laggily, but still leaves with his life.
Good job on HAXX dying together. They got a 3-man group up coming through the staple room.
And now they have pretty much full control of this cart.
Looking like we're seeing some trades. Cart's gonna go down. No, cart stays up.
Good job on Iwilla winning that fight with 1 health left. Does eventually get taken out though, but his teammates allow for that kill to happen. And now he can follow up on the objective.
Where is this HarD player in the second red spawn? I don't know if you can see that, Gollum, but in the top left of the mini-map.
Ha! Peppa! What are you doing, man? Nobody's here.
Leaving his team to get a 4v5. HAXX has 5 people in the house. They have
And they
health on
fully
complete
lost the
lockdown.
cart as a result of that too. That is
Right.
way over disruption.
Well, the issue is that they weren't dying, so he couldn't even disrupt and spawn. Now Pep has to walk all the way back. And just looking at the KDs, everybody else on the team has about 5 deaths, so Pep is just not getting the interactions to keep up with his team right now.
And yeah, hopefully that's going to change here as he gets interacted with in the shield room.
HarD is still making some pretty good time. They've been doing a good job of double stacking.
As long as they make it bottom of the hill at 4 minutes, then that's good for them. That's pretty standard pace there. Thomas Shelby setting up with the rockets here.
HAXX running double rockets.
Is one of them dark mooning it close by to the cart? Thomas Shelby seems to be the long range guy here. But who's nearby?
Yeah, that might be Lolly Ollie on the rockets. Oh, we're going for the staplers.
So far, pretty good job by HAXX screening for the Rocketeer. Nobody on HarD has really been able to contest that and move past. So French getting taken out there on his way to disrupt, and the cart's dying to those rockets once again. HarD needs to have some way, somehow, maybe to get Peppa or somebody else behind that front line to take out those rockets. It looks like Peppa was going for shocks, and then 2 kills for UK Maddie stop that dream, and HarD is working on trying to group up here, dealing with these disruptors. But UK's, or rather HAXX's setup is just a little bit too stable here. Somebody is disrupting those rockets. I don't know if they got the kill, but they did force them back. And the fight is still going on, I think only just now finishing around the cart. HAXX still with the control, but HarD is making their way forward slowly but surely.
HarD is definitely choosing a bit more of a blitz offense, especially at this lower walker level. Is group ups are a bit more of a rarity, and often they more rely on natural group ups. As you can see, HarD just slowly pushing in on this conga line of death as they take these 1v5s.
And Thomas just messing things up.
I don't know why
in that
he's not
shield.
going back for health with this 1 health. Finally going for health.
He wanted that last kill before he goes. And set up once again are those rockets. Once again, somebody on HarD needs to do something about these rockets. I know HAXX is not stacking the cart with a red player to stop movement as much as you might expect, given how much control they have over the map here. And that might be to their detriment if HarD just continues to focus on the objective. But so far, of everything that HAXX is doing...
They got a 5-man group up. They wiped out 4. It's just a rocket. Thomas Shelby with that double kill. He's on a 12 kill streak right now. He's finally gets taken out by French. Some excellent aim. With a headshot. And we're going to start to see some cart movement. HarD has fallen a lot behind. They haven't been able to really group up. So coming out the bottom of the bridge, about 2 minutes remaining.
That was a really important kill by Rafiki. Allows just enough time for Anga to follow up and get some serious cart movement there before he gets absolutely domed. And now he's following up. He takes out the rockets as well. This is a very low movement, high accuracy player, it looks like, because he's not moving so much, but he's getting insane headshots, especially for this tier.
I think it's more important to be accurate than to be moving. And once you get to the higher levels, yeah, you're able to do the sprint safing and shooting. But if you need to stand still to hit your shots, absolutely do that. You should not be trying to split the turkey on that.
Yeah, because a dead opponent is much better than living a couple more seconds. Good flank by Rafiki with those shotguns. Is trying to steal that rocket, but does not live long enough to do it.
HarD is riding right now for free. They're almost going to make checkpoint, approaching that gate.
UK Maddie trying to flank around.
Needs to start standing on this cart.
They really, their disruption by HAXX has been pretty solid here, but they've not been able to stop micro pushes that well, and that's fully because they don't have anybody dedicated to cart stacking. And the cart is moving once again. Doesn't matter how many kills Thomas Shelby gets with the rockets. The rockets take time to get there. That is time that HAXX can't afford to give away. HarD well on their way to making this checkpoint.
Something I find really interesting with HarD is they're not going for the dash. You see they're taking the main rail into staples. So HAXX doing a more traditional disruption, trying to grow that dash isn't really working. Because HarD is just ignoring the dash and coming on this cart. We have about 30 seconds remaining. HarD is slow. I would love to see some heavies come out. Or Rafiki just hits it, riding for free right now.
Thomas Shelby hiding behind the checkpoint here, not getting pressured as HarD seems to be hitting their heads against the wall over and over, just trying to force this cart one player at a time versus the entire team of HAXX, but does manage to wipe them and Thomas dies? If they could take out Lolly Ali, that's a checkpoint for HarD.
Incredible.
Good for them. Good for them. Thomas Shelby checking the watch, grabbing the rocket there. Gonna disrupt a little bit. Gets 2 cheeky kills there. Goes for a 3rd. Does miss it, and that might cost him his life.
Ooh, double kill.
Wow. Man. These
I think
rockets
HarD
by
has
Thomas have
really-
been excellent.
Oh, for sure. I mean, 27-11 is pretty insane. Shelby with 25-8. You can see the kills are pretty heavily favored towards HAXX. I think their main issue is they just didn't put somebody in cart earlier enough, and that could have been a free check.
All of those kills are really helping them, obviously, as any kills would and should, but they're not as effective as they could be. I think that's kind of the linchpin of this match here. Is HarD's focused on the objective, maybe even a little bit too focused, but it's clearly working out for them. They made it through the checkpoint. They're continuing to move the cart pretty steadily, and despite how much HAXX is killing them, the kills aren't effective enough. They're not killing and stopping the cart at the same time by stacking or killing the players on cart first, any of that stuff. That hard focus on the objective is seeming difficult for HAXX to really clearly overcome.
And something that's hard to do is doing a lot of double stacking. It's a little bit more of a high level tactic because people are so scared of the rockets coming down this cart. But it's allowed them to make up a lot of time. Generally, if you want to make it past that 87%, you're going to be 5 minutes top of the hill. So they're doing a little bit behind. But overall, I still think they're making good time. Peppa with these shocks on a 5-kill streak. He's locking down from the old red spawn, waiting for this health.
And you can see Rocky James also starting off a little bit of a shock kill streak. I think he did get taken out, though. I like the covering fire by Peppa. He just needs teammates now to follow up. HAXX, however, has not been stacking the cart as red very often, so I am kind of concerned in trying to consider how much these shocks are actually going to be effective here. You're not having to clear the cart with the shocks.
Well, he takes out his opponent's shocks.
That is good.
Yeah. I think offensive heavies in general are only really effective if the red team doesn't have heavies. Because you can't really ride the cart until you get rid of those heavies. You see the double rockets back in spawn, pounding this cart. Is HAXX is making a really good use of these heavies and denying this movement. They're at the box, about 3 minutes remaining. Got Ukmati going up for the disruption. HarD is riding right though. They're double stacking. And
Yep.
Ukmati's going for the disruption.
When nobody is on the cart, the disruption is good. And when somebody is on the cart, the disruption is fully out of position, it looks like.
Especially when you're in that corner, you need to be looking at your hand for if anybody's on that cart.
And that way you know, at the very least, even if you don't make it all the way back to the cart, if you know there are blue people on the cart, then there's less people looking out for you in the spawn where you are. And so you can kind of expose your position a little bit, because you're less likely to take 1v2s or 1v3s if you know there's 2 people on that objective.
Exactly. Something I noticed at the Walker levels, people tend to play their life a bit too much. This is such a high kill, high interaction game. Waiting usually isn't worth it.
Yeah, usually you just wait too long. It's all about that time, making effective use of the time. And Drevny, so far, playing it close to the objective. I would like to see just a little bit more fighting on the objective there, since HarD did get some movement despite getting outkilled. But so far, this has been a pretty controlled disruption. He's occasionally stealing the dash, and then he's leaving afterwards, back to the objective, giving ground to HarD that HarD can't really use dashes to effectively take. I think this is a good example of what disruption should be.
Exactly, and I think what's really helping HAXX with its defense is they're keeping control of the triangle. I don't even think HarD players got into the triangle.
10 kill
10
streak?
kill streaks from Dravini.
11!
Good
Kill.
HarD is kind of just running and dying in cart, and it is getting some movement, but I don't know how effective it really is. Peppa going for the flank here. Oh,
Hesitates with the shots? What happened there? He had an open shot. It didn't look like any bullets came out of his gun,
you
though. I'm
miss
not sure.
all the shots you don't take.
Yeah, exactly. Uh-oh. Is this a crash from Drevny?
Oh, we might see a crash from Dravini. It might be a power play.
That would be huge for HarD. As I think this even 5v5 has heavily been working in HAXX's
Yeah, he definitely
favor.
crashed.
You can't rely on outkilling your opponents that much, unless you're D. Let's put that exception out there. You can't rely on outkilling your opponents when you have a numbers disadvantage, which it really seems like the strategy for HAXX is relying on outkilling them, since they're not stacking that objective that much. And now HarD is getting some consistent movement as soon as Drevny crashed out. HarD might actually be able to make it much further than we initially considered. They're almost at that pretty standard 84 to 86% mark.
One of the Thomas Shelby's some pretty aggressive rockets. Is normally you can do it in the bunker with a bit more cover, but he's prioritizing getting the rockets on the cart faster. And he's trying to, I guess, rocket out the shotgun room.
I mean, based on the KDs here...
Oh, because of his position, he gets taken out by Angot with a 3 KD. This card is moving. Honestly, if HarD can even make league average with how, like, hairpin that checkpoint was, it'll be a good push for HarD.
Yeah, no kidding. I'd be very proud if I was HarD at this stage, and we're still only halfway through this map and not even into any potential overtime push.
Right, HAXX being very aggressive, pushing into HarD. We got a complete wipe from HAXX,
and
riding the rail.
Drevny is back in the game. Drevny is back in the game.
Oh, perfect. So we're seeing this overtime. We can see the inexperience of HarD not really grouping up for this push. Is they're basically wiped by the time this overtime is happening.
And that is also showing the experience of HAXX, knowing how you need to time out-killing your opponents there, so that there's basically an impossibility of getting the overtime on that card. Now we are going to switch sides. HAXX pushing objective and HarD on the defense.
And it seems like both teams are pretty heavy towards these weapon pickups, and I think it'll help out HarD more on the defense here, as in general heavies, and any pickups are kind of worse for an offense.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the main thing with this game that's very different than others, and it's like a lot of older mariner shooters, is the weapons have a time cost. So when you pick up a weapon, you're essentially giving up part push time, so you can get more kills that will help you achieve your goal.
And if you're red, obviously you're not pushing the cart, so I mean, what time are you really giving up here?
Right, red is a passive goal, blue is proactive, so it changes the weapon interaction. But we see HAXX coming out. HarD already almost wiped. They only got one person in this house still. Peppa gets taken out. Like one shot on cart, trying to get some help from his teammates, but they're already pushed up into spawn.
And
HAXX looking like they want to double stack?
Yeah, I mean, might as well. If you're out-killing your opponents very heavily and there's no red presence around the objective, besides the occasional one-man disruption, might as well stack. But now, Thomas Shelby had to clear that house. Does clear it, but there's still some HarD players out front, and I think Thomas is going to position himself both to grab a health and prevent HarD from retaking this house so they don't have to look backwards. Goes for those rockets. Rockets take themselves out. Solve himself. And that is nearly a full wipe for HarD, besides that one player in the shield room that did go down to I Will I.
We got HAXX with one disruptor up by himself, trying to take this 4v1. Takes out one, gets taken out by a rocket. We got a 3-man push. They're triple stacking, I believe. Dravini pushing up, and HarD is retaking this cart. Oh, but Dravini's still holding down this spawn.
Rafiki setting up with the rockets. Good kill there. Expect Rafiki's a pretty fast-paced rocket. Oh my gosh!
I love the prediction from there.
I also love that he's shooting the rockets mid-dash to start things out, which kind of eats down on the travel time versus exposure time. That's something I want to harp on real quick with rocketeering, is because the rockets take so long to get where you want them to go, but the splash damage is so worth it. You want maximum like efficient use of travel time versus minimum amount of time that you're exposed to your opponents who can shoot you with a much faster, more accurate bullet weapon. So if you're able to launch rockets and then go somewhere where you can see cart, and the already launched rockets can then hit the cart, that actually saves you a lot of time, and that is exactly what Rafiki was doing there. So just a little bit of a technique I want people to look out for.
I love that rocket curve. We're seeing that HAXX is about, I want to say about 30 seconds ahead.
Yeah.
Is HarD has really been able to set up defense, and especially these rockets. Is HAXX is set up in their spawn. Rocky James, focus on this ambush.
Oh, Rafiki thought he was clear, but no.
I like how he let his friend die to go for the rockets, because he could have popped out and helped him mid-fight, but he chose not to. Rocky James position in their spawn camping the rocket in the background. I don't know. Going for the dash.
This is a little bit of a Peppa over disruption here. Not too much, as he's forced the rockets to leave the objective, and nobody seems to turn around to look at him. He gets 2 kills and moves to the objective.
And he gets a 4K, setting up for that. HAXX coming in with about a 3-minute lead.
Yeah, really showing that experience and control in not allowing HarD to set up at all. And that Rocky James disruption might seem a little bit strange to go all the way into the spawn, but I think he was counting on distracting enough players to make it through that checkpoint quickly. And there we go. Make it through the checkpoint. HarD does not have time to set up a defense because of that disruption distraction there. They could not split focus as a team, and now HAXX is
already in the
just
triangle.
charge
The
forward.
team experience is showing. Checkpoint just got in. They're already taking control of the triangle, trying to deny the dash. In their spawn, more or less. Oh. And HAXX is double stacking, so they're leaving their 3 disruptors to push through. A HarD player gets by. Dravini takes him out.
He takes him out. Very, very controlled out of HAXX. Meanwhile, HarD keeps riding that main rail, and HAXX is continuing to easily punish it. HarD needs to be looking out for these off angles that they were taking when they were red team. And so far, they're just moving forward in a straight line, expecting the enemy to reveal themselves. HAXX is not doing that.
This card has not been stopped once since checkpoint. And I think the main difference here is HAXX's experience, and they know they need to control the triangle room, and are sending 3 players every life to try and deny them from taking control of that triangle room. Rafiki finally getting through, gets his card with shotgun SMG, gold weapons, by the way.
The GOAT. He's got a lot of gold weapons. What, he's going for a shotgun and SMG?
SMG.
Yeah, looks like it. Oh, he's got to keep those pickups, though, make it just a little bit more useful, and HarD can actually set up a defense here.
Best long range and close range, but they both have the weakness of long reload times.
Yeah, for sure. Rafiki making it work, though. Absolutely. Smashing here. About to go down, maybe. I think HAXX is going to start focusing him whenever they see that name, because he's been able to clear the cart so effectively, and Thomas does end that hot streak. Takes out the rockets as well, and now HarD has hardly anybody left to defend.
Oh, Dravini.
With the spotty connection here.
I prefer the term time stop.
A time stop, yeah.
Yeah, time stop. But taking a look at the KDs, is Dravini, Rocky James, and Thomas Shelby are all with the over 2 KDs. Though, to be honest, for how dominant the KDs are, I would expect a bit more cart movement at this pace.
Yeah, they did have a pretty good stop on the objective because of Rafiki, who is far and away outperforming his teammates in this one. Doing very well currently, but one star player does not an effective team make, as HAXX is proving here with that split focus. One player riding the cart while the rest follow up. Good hop off the objective as well. He's going to let his teammates follow because he knows that triangle room is important.
Ooh, good shotgun from French.
Shotgun SMG combo once again.
So HAXX is about 5 minutes ahead of where HarD is, so this match is all but decided. There's still the MMR component. And if I was HAXX right now, I'd be focused on trying to get this 100%. We see French is using the red side advantage to go for these SMGs. Let's see the...
Does get one kill on a potential flanker, but Thomas is riding the cart with his teammate, and there are no red players left to contest, as Drevny's been wiping them out and pulling their attention away. The rest of HAXX able to follow up. I tries to take an alternate route, and it does gain one reward, but Thomas is back once again, riding that objective with a shotgun in the left hand. And now that push by HAXX has finally been stopped with only one player in the triangle. Drevny once again setting up for yet another potential flank here. Good kill by Rafiki though, good positioning there. Ends that before it starts. And the cart stacking also very good to see out of HarD. That potential movement from HAXX has been quashed, as it were.
Right, and HAXX right now is getting probably getting across what is probably the hardest part of any map, which is this 85 to 88 where the card is exposed from spawn.
For sure.
It's very important, is you basically have to be able to spawn lock the other team to get by here anytime. And they're coming around the span with about 4 minutes remaining. HAXX is focusing a lot on these flanks, gets taken up by Rocky James.
I think it's just, at this point, it's just making HarD better at looking out for flankers. There are only 2 directions, more or less, that you have to look for flankers, and as long as HarD has somebody dedicated to each route, this defense is going to look a lot stronger.
Oh, for sure, but I think HarD isn't really contesting this triangle room enough. As you can see, HAXX is able to basically group up for free.
They get ground, and then it's a hard decision to make when another team is out killing you so much to play aggressive, but really in this game you get rewarded so much for playing aggressively that you kind of have to have people go forward.
especially just looking at the map, is if you want to get these heavies, which are so vital on red side, is you need to push up to that triangle to get that rocket. As you can see, HarD is really struggling that the HAXX can just micro push right now, which they're doing, because they don't have heavies to get anybody off this card except for just shooting at it.
And you know, with micro pushing in mind, it is still good that HarD has been stacking the card as much as they have. If they hadn't been stacking so much, I think HAXX would already be around the corner and it would be all but over for HarD at that point. But they still have some opportunity to shoot at those blue players riding the cart as they respawn.
You see HarD being a little bit more aggressive. They're just taking the main roll a little bit too much.
But they're just about
As
fully
HAXX
wiped
gets
except for
completely
Rafiki.
Does he know they're on cart? The triple stack coming around for the flank. Gets one.
That was almost two. Teammate finished that off. Takes out Lally Alley. And now the flanker gets wiped. Rafiki going for a more aggressive play. Almost gets taken out and is going to back up for some health instead. Trying to keep those pickups. Does get the health. That had me on the edge of my seat for a moment there. HAXX now starting to move the cart. A couple players wiped out. Drevny also takes out Rafiki, who seems to have been holding down the fort and is going to camp these rails with those double SMGs.
96%. HarD is inches away. 2 minutes remaining.
2.5, yeah. Rafiki gets those double staples, and it does take time to do that. Time that HAXX has been using to their advantage to push that cart, and they desperately want to get this last little push here, but I think the more desperately they play, the more they're going to get punished for it, like Rocky James, jumping out with only one teammate able to follow up. Does get a tiny bit of movement, though, and it looks like the rest of his teammates were able to follow, and HAXX gets 100% with a little over 2 minutes left.
And take a look at that scoreboard.
Sure will. Over on HarD, it is Rafiki top killing and top scoring for his team. 80 kills, 63 deaths, 9,200 score. Over on HAXX, Drevny with the killer disruption, 93 kills, almost at that 100 mark, and that score almost to 10,000 at 9991 score. Top scoring and killing for his team and for the map. Very well played there for map 1.
Something I find really interesting is less of the kills and more the deaths.
Yeah, for sure.
As you can see that despite HAXX being so dominant on the kills, they actually had a lot lower interactions compared to HarD. To where even some HarD players will have double the amount of interactions that players like Thomas Shelby have with only 33 deaths.
Yeah, that really contributed to how that match played out. And HarD going to be hard pressed in this domination here. They are fully aware of that and discussing their strategy, presumably, for how they're going to play this next map, which is Volcano.
And I think if any map HarD was going to take, it would be Volcano. It's such a Pandora's box if even the meta hasn't really been figured out, or the generic way to play it.
Yeah, the main thing about the map compared to the other two domination maps is really going to be the distance from spawn to either button during a countdown. If you freshly respawned while a countdown is happening, it is so far away, so difficult to reach those buttons that even with a well laid out route from spawn to get to a counter, sometimes you still can't get it in the same way that you can on Waterway and on Quarry, the other two domination maps.
Yeah, you basically need to be out of the spawn door if you have any chance of countering, unless you get that home dash. Which, since it's such a common route, it's basically you're never going to have that dash.
Yeah, always, if a countdown is happening, somebody's
Somebody's already taken it and died.
Yeah. Whether that's your teammate who took it and died, or the enemy who took it and died on purpose. Either way, dash is not there. You are not going to be able to use it.
I'm going to be very interested to see the strategies, though, because I remember the last match we watched with HAXX and Sky, is HAXX actually took the Volcano over Sky due to having these floating group ups that would go from button to button with 3-man pushes. I don't know if you remember that goal.
I don't recall it. You want to talk about that just a little bit?
Yeah, so it was actually Lateralis' first match with Sky. And Sky was pretty heavily the favorite, but what HAXX would do is they would send Rocky, Ukamadi, and they move Thomas Shelby, is they would just be this floating push from their home button to B button to their button, and they were able to constantly win these 3v2s and 3v1s.
rather than having a ton of consistent split focus, they just had like a balled fist charging through whatever defense Sky had. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it was a very like rolling offense where instead of trying to get every button equal attention and love, is it would just be focus one button, focus the other button, focus the last button. Which they played it more like a traditional waterway or quarry, where it's about that rolling kind of capture the flag mentality of gaining ground.
Mm-hmm.
Where in traditional volcano play, or at least as much as we've seen, is it seemed like the dominant strategy is normally to have a split button focus with a main focus primarily on B, but giving some love to each of your home buttons.
Mm-hmm. Since from B you can use that as a launching off point to go back to your home button and defend, or the opponent's button and defend. There's so many routes in and out of B that makes it a pretty obvious.
It's the heart of the
choice.
map, so
Yeah.
it's kind of the main vessel you take through.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the armor pickup, which is the only legal map with the armor pickup.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's only 2 maps that have an armor pickup in the first place, right? We've got that that deathmatch map. I like to call it
Crater.
the Halo map. Yeah, Crater.
Oh yeah, it does look a lot like Halo. Same with Flex Coast.
And yeah, I think it's just all the like mechanical clean construction along with the
With
plant
nature.
life.
Yeah.
So it's a really good comparison. I like that though. Let's also go ahead and refresh this overlay. We can see all the scores there. You've had time to read it. There we go.
Some new
Now we're
ones.
in the lobby. I like just staring into Rafiki's face here. Man, all these like in between times, just seeing the players talk and move around because it's VR is a lot of fun to me. I don't know if it's just me because I played this game and played a lot of VR too, but the expressions that people can convey through just body movement without even sound is really interesting, and it makes VR so incredibly different from any PC or console game format, especially in competitive stuff. And HAXX has done a switch here. Vico has swapped in. I know who he swapped out with. I can't think of the name. UK Maddie, there we go. Has swapped out. Meanwhile, HarD was Engod in the last map?
I believe he was. I also
Okay.
just got back. I know Vico 530's new.
Yeah. Vico has swapped out for UK Maddie.
Like, my dog just ate turf hopping off the dog. He's a fat little man with little legs, and he just kind of rolled over like Humpty Dumpty.
Delicious. I
Looking
realized
like we're about
that
to
might
be hopping
what
over
you
the
mean.
volcano.
There we go. Just giving him a little signal here.
Also opting for the no standard height. I don't know how players really feel about it. I know when it first came out, it wasn't the most popular thing.
Yeah. We'll have to check out the cycle circle back that will eventually be posted, where we talk about a lot of those changes.
Love the cross promotion. We can see HAXX already with these warnings. We're about sending 4 to their home button.
Oh my gosh, they do not want HarD to take that home button.
Also, with an immediate crash from HAXX, not leaving their spawn.
Blue takes B.
HarD already going for this
Red
dash.
team.
I don't know who crashed on HAXX. I guess it's got to be Thomas Shelby.
Blue takes
It's
red
Vico.
team.
Oh,
having just
Vico.
gained this map. All right, he finally comes
he
to
activated.
awaken
Red team score.
with a countdown for HarD.
Red
Oh my
team
gosh, if that countdown had
countered.
finished, I don't think Vico could have countered, but luckily his teammates are on the ball and now Vico's able to... Well, I was going to say tear things up, but he's going against Rafiki, and if you've been paying attention to the last map, you know Rafiki is the player to watch for on
Oh, double
HarD.
Red
shotties.
takes B.
Does get completely skipped, tries to follow up there, but it's that's a good example of how shotguns do not work at even middle range.
Is that going to be
Having
first round
close
with a
up.
wipe?
First point for
Blue
HAXX.
team wins this round.
Full wipe on HarD. Phew. That was I was a little worried there for HAXX, given that Vico was not moving for the first minute or so of that map, but they pulled things together, and now it looks like Vico is the aggro player for HAXX. Grabbing
Right,
those dashes, that is a good showing of that opening route that I think most teams should be adopting here. Grabbing your first dash and then grabbing that second one. It's a very tight
don't know what you're
timing,
supposed to-
but
I don't know what you're supposed to do against that 4-man opener to your own base, as they sent, I believe, Rafiki to try and win that 1v4.
yeah,
and it just
good luck.
didn't happen.
Countered.
It's interesting the bald fist method that I mentioned earlier and that you were describing that HAXX is still doing here. They're completely giving up B though. They're trying to guarantee that HarD cannot get HAXX's
Oh,
base.
another point.
It's clearly working out for them. I think they're just rolling out from their button and then trying to be a unstoppable wave on the way to B, while Vico locks down HarD's base, and HarD has yet to find a consistent way to counter it.
Honestly, I think if you're HarD, you just got to give up their base for the opener. It's because, like, I don't know how this HarD player is going to win this 1v4. Though he did, oh my god, he got one!
He's alive.
He's still fighting. I guess the counter was just win 1v3.
Ah, Drevny takes him out.
And you see,
that
the B button hasn't even been hit yet.
Nobody has it?
Nobody has it.
Okay,
They
Red
just got
finally takes it, but 3 HAXX players follow up, and it's a countdown for HAXX once again. Good counter there by So French. These respawning HarD players do get taken out. Okay.
I think HarD's main thing is they just need to survive the opener here, which they're doing decently. Dravini camping their dash with a 3-kill streak. An 8-kill streak from Dravini. This man has not died once.
Thomas just crouching below all the shots from HarD. Eventually dies.
You'd love to see it.
Alright, this has been the longest point yet for HarD. Hopefully they switch something up and they might actually be able to get a bit of a breather here.
Trying to rocket onto the button. Oh, gets taken out by the armor. Rocky James, 8-kill streak coming in for this dash. Big boys with big problems. He has this armor.
Does lose that armor. He's not such a big
he is
boy
a
anymore.
god at Ring Around the Rose. He gets taken out by French.
And French, waiting so long and so patiently for that dash, does not get it. Seem to have settled into a little bit more of a back and forth scenario so far, but HAXX dominating that B button. Are they going to transition to any other button? So far, HarD has just been chilling on their button and on HAXX's, and it's just been a contest for B. Only one player alive for HAXX. Vico somehow gets the counter. In all that, there was no button holding. Another countdown for HarD, though. Does turn into a point. Good for them.
HAXX is somehow, I think it's their experiences allowing them to just travel as a mob to whatever button they desire as they show up as a horde. And we can see that when they get that, if HarD is able to survive this opening onslaught from HAXX, is the opening paces, their spread out strategies more working better.
Yeah, HarD sending 3 players to their own base now is trying to copy HAXX in that way. 3 people versus Vico. How many will Vico take?
Oh, HAXX finally getting B.
Okay, Vico taken out.
HarD opting to sit in their own base of 3 people, starting to copy a bit of HAXX strats, even unintentionally. And as we open this, I think they're just trying to wait out the opening push from HAXX.
Did Vigo not see that player that was behind him?
No, he did not, which is why they're going to...
Oh no, his teammate took him out. I see, coming from underneath. HarD with the split focus, I think that's just going to show that, like you said, as long as HarD can outlast the initial opener from HAXX, which seems to be pretty devastating, they have a pretty decent chance of getting all sorts of counters by splitting their focus as they have been.
Gonna go for B.
Are these players going to make it in time? I don't think so.
That might be it. No, wow.
That's it. That goes to show that fresh respawn after a counter and then countdown immediately after just does not give you enough time to hit that button in your own base or B, and HAXX wins as a result there. But a pretty solid performance, all things considered, out of HarD. Let's take a look at those scores. Peppa, top scoring for the entire lobby, not just his team, with 5 kills, 15 deaths, but 4,300 score, locking in that objective on HAXX. Rocky James, top scoring for his team with a 3 KD, 12 kills, and 3 deaths. No, a 4 KD.
80. We got math.
I can do math. But Thomas Shelby outkilling him, 14 kills and 4 deaths there.
And yeah, I think HarD did really well. I mean, it's great that they got that point. I think they just didn't have enough time to adapt. Is that opener was just too strong and overwhelming to deal with.
True. I think they outperformed their MMR placement. If
for
we
sure.
want to like a blanket statement here, based on the expectations just of the numbers and not taking into consideration any player individuality, HarD had a pretty solid performance here, but HAXX, their experience and their killing power really showed in this match, and that is why they took both maps there.
pretty convincingly as well.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And that all being said, that is going to be the end of this match for today. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy the cast and would like to support more of this league that we all know and love so much. That being said, I've been Notgollum.
We also have TBDI versus Rook going on right now. If you want
Oh
to
yes,
check that out.
yes. Go check that out. It's still happening. Get over there.
But
Hop off of here,
yeah,
get over there.
we'll see you guys around.
Bye.